What's up, pageant patrons? This is Isaac with Hi JR Sings, and thank you for watching today's video. We possibly have history in the making. This year, 2024, the Miss Universe Philippines has 4 serious contenders for the crown. And I simply want to take a few moments to celebrate these awesome young women and also offer just a bit of critique. And then I will probably let you know who my favorite is at the end of the video. So tune in and thank you for watching. The first queen I want to talk about is Matea Smith. Just give you just a little bit of background about her. She is Miss Universe Philippines 2024, Florida. She was Miss Filipina International 2023, and that is a pageant based in Los Angeles. And in the 10-year history of the pageant, she was the first Afro-Filipina. So congratulations to her. She wants to be a trauma surgeon. She is an athlete and a dancer. She does charity work in the Philippines and Ukraine. She doesn't speak Tagalog, but she is learning Tagalog. And so when asked what is one of the things that she likes about her Filipino culture, she says respect, discipline, and family structure. And she does credit her mom with her sense of self. And I think that's a wonderful thing. She gives this quote. She says, "I don't fit in a box. The box fits me. And it is okay not to belong with others." And again, crediting her mom with this sense of individuality, being your own person. I totally agree with that. When she was asked about her biracial background, she said that she did not really have any issues. Everyone, respected her for who she was, and she was able to grow up and just, not really have any issues. So she goes in with the interview, and so just, a very nice, cordial interview. I was trying to see if I had another note. I thought I had one more note here. She says she's not transformational. It's more of an awakening. And so you can go watch her video on that. And so, everyone has certain mantras that they live by. And so I kind of understand that as well, but it's just unique. Kind of let me know what you think about that. Here's what I thought about that. About kind of her whole package. How wonderful it is to be able to grow up and everyone accepts you for who you are. And so while I really did enjoy getting to know her, she's very well spoken, of course. Being wanting to be a trauma surgeon, you have to be smart. You have to be intelligent, and then also to really put yourself out there and to win these couple of crowns here. I think it's a wonderful thing. I think the problem is going to be that she's not really relatable to the native Filipinos. And here's what I mean by that. Most Filipinos will tell you that they are emotional. That's simply part of the culture. They are emotional. They want to, or from what I can tell, they enjoy seeing these stories where you overcome something and you really use whatever you overcome to be a better person. And I'm being very general, of course, and so I do apologize. I don't like to be that general, but in this case, I have found that to be true. With Miss Smith here, she has a great story, but she hasn't had to overcome. There's no struggle. And so sometimes with a struggle, there's an emotional attachment. And I think because she won't be relatable in that fashion, it's going to be difficult for native Filipinos to really get behind her and say, hey, look at her. She had this big issue and she was able to overcome it. I think it is wonderful. I've said it before, just a moment ago, that it's wonderful that she was able to grow up with her biracial background. I think that's a wonderful thing. All places aren't like that, and all people aren't like that. So congrats to her. And so that's kind of my critique of her. But again, a wonderful young lady, and I enjoyed her interview. The next queen I wish to talk about is Chelsea Manalo. I finally get to see her talk. I haven't gotten a chance to see her on stage and performing in a pageant, but she is Miss Universe Philippines Bulacan, Let me make sure that's right. Yes, I am correct. Sorry. I thought I had it written down, but I didn't write it down. So just a couple of quick notes about her. She has been out of pageantry for a little while, but this is simply just a few things that I learned about her. It looks like she grew up with her stepdad, and she refers to her stepdad as dad, and she lived with her Lola here in the States. She was bullied, but still treated everyone with kindness. And that's sort of that idea that people want to see, that were you able to overcome whatever your story is? And I think I talked about that with my last queen. So she was bullied, and like I said, but despite that, she still found the inner strength to treat everyone around her with kindness. She said that she was actually hindered to join pageants, and I can certainly see why. One of the things I just looking at her, I didn't realize really how pretty she was. She's actually very pretty, and I think the photos that I've seen so far really have not done her justice. She does speak, it sounds like, fluent Tagalog, and so she speaks English as well. She says, color doesn't matter. You must possess a Filipino spirituality. And I love that saying, because I believe that is correct. It doesn't matter. There's lots of biracial people in the Philippines. It's just not black and Filipino, it's white and Filipino, and this and that, but she says that color doesn't matter. It's that inner Filipino, that Filipino spirituality, that is what matters. And so I agree with that. And one of the things I did like that some of the other queens did not do, and it's really a simple thing, and it shouldn't be a big thing, but she kept saying, and she says it 5 times, that she wants to be Miss Universe. I've often said that, well, what are you vying for? What pageant are you vying for? And so sometimes you literally have to say, I want to be Miss Universe, or you alluded in some way. And so you can tell that she really wants to be the queen. So I enjoyed finally hearing her speak, listening to her story. So I do have to say that one of the issues with her is her interview was okay, but I didn't really sense this. There was certain an energy that was missing from the video, from her interview. She spoke very well, and English is certainly not the measure of success, but the command of the language. She doesn't have a great command of the language, but she was still able to get her point across. And so for me, but it all boils down to that there's a certain energy that I didn't seem to get. And but would she make a great queen? Can it be overcome? Yeah, that can be overcome. And so, but it was just fun to finally get to see her and listen to her speak. So again, just want to say congrats to her. I enjoyed her interview as well. Now, I have to admit, the most fun interview to watch was Lorraine Ojimba, who is Miss Quezon City. She looks like she would be so much fun at a party. So let me just go ahead. She does have a background in communications. While she was in school, she competed in competitions involving communications, and I think she won some awards there. Growing up, she had to constantly try to fit in with the Nigerian group to prove that she was black enough. But then also she tried to fit in with the Filipinos to prove that she was Filipino enough. And I can't imagine the trauma that could have caused. But one of the things that happens is, as you grow, you learn. And I tell you what, she seems to be very self-assured and has basically overcome that. She says that she was discriminated and bullied and laughed at because she had a black father and she was biracial. She tells a story of how she was getting an award and she didn't want her dad to come because she didn't want the kids to laugh at her for having a black father. And so then in this video, she does say, she apologizes to her dad, which I think is just a very noble and wonderful thing to do. And she does credit both of her parents with who she is today. She states that she is not seeking validation, but wants to prove she is not what they say she is. So those people that say, well, you're this, you're this, you're this. She said, no, 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 no. I'm going to show you that I'm not that. So, and I think that's wonderful, because you always want to take the high road, as they say. And, you know, how do you get even with someone? You do better than they expect you to. It's kind of it. She says that when she was modeling at first, she felt like it was a diversity quota, and she developed an eating disorder during that time. And so how sad it is that you want to try to fit in, and then all of a sudden you develop an eating disorder to try to fit in with whatever anybody else is doing. I think she was trying to get down to a certain size, and that's a few years ago. That was kind of the thing that, you know, women would do, because they needed to get down to a certain size. And so then they would have these eating disorders, and I will leave it at that, to try to get to the correct size. And so she's over that now, and she looks absolutely fantastic. She said that stylists were scared of her hair. And I can see that, because a lot of stylists, they do not know, especially if they haven't grown up with it, they do not know what to do with mixed hair or even black hair. So that's kind of a funny little thing. She has insecurities, but if she doesn't believe in herself, who will? And what a great mantra to sort of tell those that you are trying to inspire. And she says that she is a class clown. And I can see that in this video, that she is a class clown. And she says her personality is her strength. And you can definitely see that that was on display during this interview. And so there's a lot more that I could say about that, but it was just a great, fun video to watch. And the critique that I have about her, oh, wait a minute, there is one thing that really did strike me. She says that she has no budget, she has no stylist, and she has no glam team. That's why she believes that it is God's will for her to be in this pageant. And I can tell you right now that she is so natural in her passerella, the way that she communicates. Those are huge. And that if I had to have a critique, that probably would be it, is her styling. You know, to get a sense of who she is and really embody that. One of the things that happened was, because my next queen that we're going to talk about was out there first, Lorraine Ojimba seems to be running, would seem to be running a distant second, because she simply was not first. And so she doesn't have the notoriety as Alexie Brooks. But what she doesn't have in maybe the notoriety, she's gonna easily make up for that on the stage with her question and answer. So far, I have not seen, or I've only seen maybe one or two people do it better. So my critique would simply be, I wish that she could find a stylist that could really capture her essence in her styling, that can really catapult her to the front of the pack, so to speak. And as you well know, she has been my dark horse. She, I don't know how popular she is. All I can say is that every time I see her, she has gotten better and better. So she's trying to improve her craft. And so I dare say, well, she's in my top 5. She's already in my top 5. But on stage, she's definitely going to be in the top 10. But I dare say she could possibly break into that top 5. It depends on how well she does in that question and answer, and how well the stylist can embody that witty spirit about her, and I think she has the possibility to do well. My last queen that I want to talk about is Alexie Brooks, Miss Ilo. And I tell you what, when I was putting this together, I was like, do I have to watch another video? I had watched her several weeks ago when she first won, and I just simply was not impressed. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to do this. And I said, no, because I believe that everyone is getting better. Everyone is trying to get better. So when I decided to put this together, I went and I watched a more recent interview with her. And I tell you what, in my comments in another video, I said, I really did enjoy her interview. While I believe that she was still a little bit too stiff for me, I appreciate the fact that she is really learning how to be a great interviewer. So congrats to her on that. And again, I really did enjoy watching this particular interview. As most of you know her, but really this is just kind of like just a little bit of background information, because I do have patrons that do not follow, the whole pageant field, and so this is more information for them. She wants to use her platform to speak for athletes because she is an athlete, and that is really how people know her. So that is why she is probably more popular than the other three queens, is that she already, people know her from being an athlete, and she's won several awards, and so she already has a base from which to draw from. Her background, and I found this interesting, she would run home because she was bullied. So how sad it is that, you get out of school and you just simply run home. You don't want to be bothered with anybody else. You don't want anybody talking to you. You just run home, and, a coach saw her and asked her to be a runner. I think she did long jump as well. And that is really how she overcame her bullying, is that she really got into sports. And I think it's great that you find something that, even though you are in a lot of pain because you've been bullied, you can find an event, you can find something that you can get into that is not detrimental to you, like so many people do. You were able to find something, and so bravo. What a wonderful story to tell young women how to overcome whatever you're going through. Find something that you can get involved in, and you can pour your heart into that, and then use that as a tool to help you overcome whatever you're going through. So she does credit her grandma. And if you saw her when she won Miss Ilo, you saw her grandmother, her Lola, was there. And I think she puts the crown on. It was just a moving moment. And I think it's wonderful. She wants to empower and inspire. So which again, that's great. She is part of the LGBTQ community, and she wants to be authentic. Everyone is comparing her to someone else, and so she does not want to be a copycat. One of the things that she does say that I think you can really use to empower women, she says, women can be more than skinny, white, and have long hair. So again, that is so very, very true. And then she says pain is her motivation, and that can obviously be seen when you've been bullied and you just you use that pain and you overcome the pain. Or that's one of those ideals that Filipinos love, and so since she grew up in the Philippines, she's going to understand that. So that emotional idea of whatever negative that you've gone through with her, she was being bullied, that how are you able to overcome that? And so I think she's done a wonderful job of that, and she has the possibility to inspire lots of people. So now let's get to the critique. And I think I've already said it, even she said it. She's going to be seen, because she does have the short hair, she's going to be seen as trying to imitate Zosie, who was Miss Universe 2019. She's going to be seen basically as a copycat. And so whether it's fair or not, it is what it is. And I still say slightly another critique is this. Because she is, so, somebody said that I'm hung up on the androgynous thing. I'm not hung up on that. The issue for me is simply this. When you try so hard not to look like either one, or you try to look like both, however that goes, what happens is, now that you have to lean to one, she's got to lean more into the feminine side to win. What happens is, right now she looks too masculine, and that has been another, not just me, that has been another one of the criticisms, is that not that she's athletic, It's just that she doesn't look feminine. You can look feminine and you can be athletic looking. So whether that criticism is warranted or not, that's not for me to say. All I'm saying, I'm just saying what other people are saying, is that she doesn't look feminine enough, because she may win Miss Universe Philippines, but then how will that look when she gets onto the stage with those Latino women and other women from around the world in Mexico? And we all know, and I've said it almost in every video that we talk about this, that those Latino women are fine. They are going to be fit, fine, feminine. And so, you know, how will Alexie's look compare against that? So that's one of the criticisms there. So, but as far as, you know, I actually like her. She's in my top 5 along with Lorraine Ojimba, and she's been in my top 5 for a while, because I do think she has the possibility of being a great queen. Before I say who my favorite is, I just have to say that any of these 4 would make great queens, but it is a competition. They're all wonderful in their own right. I enjoyed putting this together just to get to know them. And I wish all 4 of them well. And so I hope they do well. Now, who is my favorite? My favorite, as of right now, I would probably have to go with Lorraine Ojimba. Here's the reason why. In one of my other videos, you know, some people got mad at me for a couple of things, and I'm okay with that. Here's the reason why. I'm looking past Miss Universe Philippines. And if I want the Philippines to win, who can I send that can compete with the Latinas, who will be fine, the African ladies, who are always fine, and who can speak well for everyone, who can be a representative for all women. And what edges Lorraine Ojimba out is simply her communication skills. Not only does she speak deeply in Tagalog, a friend of mine, my Filipino brother, translated some things for me and you know, kind of let me know how deep it was. But also, she has a wonderful command of the English language. And so for me, that's what edges it out. Now, I'm not going to tell you who I think is the prettiest. Pretty will only get you so far. But it is how you carry yourself. It is how you speak. And also, it is Lorraine's wit that she brings into her conversation. That's part of who she is. And I think being able to be serious, as I've seen her, but also being able to bring a little bit of wit in, that's going to take you a long way. That's who I choose. Let me know if you agree or not. So, if you made it this far, I do appreciate it. So, you guys take care. And this whole idea of maybe the Philippines will have its first Black Miss Universe is very exciting to me. So, congratulations to all of them, and I wish them all the best. And again, thank you for watching. Peace out.